What's going on, guys? Welcome back to TriFecta Airsoft. Chris here. Today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Elite Force H8R Revolver. So this is the Gen 2 revolver. I got this one on Amazon for I think $69 or $70. Really cheap gun. Yeah, these are definitely unique looking revolvers. It doesn't look like your standard old style revolver or whatever. So in the box you just get the revolver and 5 magazine discs. Not your standard cylinder that rotates and comes out. This is actually fixed. The inner barrel goes all the way back through the cylinder all the way down to the magazine disc here. So this is how you take the disc out. This little gray thing right here. And you just push your disc out. It holds 10 BBs. So with all 5 of those, you get 50 rounds in this tiny package. Well, you can put all these in a single magazine pouch and they'll all fit in there. And there's your Allen key in that bag there, because this does have an adjustable hop-up right here in the top, right at the beginning of this cylinder here. So the Gen 1 did not have a hop-up. The Gen 1 also had black trigger and black hammer, and they changed those to gray. And then the Gen 1 also had just standard black iron sights, whereas the Gen 2 has these green fiber optic sights on here. Really nice, actually. Really nice sights on there. Those green fibers. So this is a CO2 revolver. The CO2 goes in the grip. So yeah, you just start at the bottom. There's a little fingerprint thing right there. You just peel the grip off, and your little 12-gram CO2 cartridge goes in the grip there. So this one has a giant Allen key in the bottom to tighten your CO2 up in there. Alright, you got a little tab in there. You gotta slide it up in there. There we go. Yeah, so the differences between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 are the differences in the color and the hammer and the trigger, the different sights, and obviously the hop-up, because the Gen 1 did not have a hop-up. So the main reason I got this gun is because of that hop-up. I want to really see how good this thing is for being $70, because that really is cheap. And I mean, this thing just looks awesome. I've wanted a revolver for a while now. I've been looking at different ones, but this thing just looks really cool. Like, it looks futuristic. I just think it looks awesome. So you put the magazine disc back in. You just make sure you have that gray thing up in the locked position up there. And then just push it in. You can't push it all the way through. It actually stops for you. And then you just push this down and you're good to go. This does have safety right here. So when you pull it back, that's on fire. And when you push it forward, that's on safe. And it won't even let you pull the hammer back when it's on safe. So you just pull that back to fire. It is single action and double action. So you can cock that hammer back and rotate your magazine right there. And then it also has double action, so you can just fire it however you want. Obviously, you have a lighter trigger pull with that single action for those really accurate shots without moving the gun. You just pull the trigger. The trigger is quite nice, actually. The pull feels like a standard, like real revolver. Like you have that real high resistance on that double action, and on that single action, it's just like a hair trigger. Like you just barely pull on it and it goes off. It was really awesome. Then you have your little red dot there and your S signal, fire and safe. So yeah, you have a rail on the top and on the bottom. If you want to put a scope or something on here, or a dot or something, or a laser, flashlight, run cam, whatever you want to put on the bottom. And the grip is pretty comfortable. I have big hands. It fits my hand really well. You can get an awesome grip on this gun. Have like no recoil when you're firing it. These things are, with the CO2 cartridge in there and 0.2 gram BB, supposed to be shooting like 325 FPS, I believe, somewhere around there. So it's not super high, so it's definitely going to be good for all your CQB engagements. You're not going to have a stupid 20-foot engagement on your pistol, minimum engagement on your pistol, which always sucks. So yeah, you got your H8R, H8AR, I like how they spell that, 6mm Super Magnum. It's printed right here on the front, kind of cool. And then you have, on both sides of your grips, you have the Elite Force symbol on both sides of the grip there. So that's nice. And you have like the mock controls. So you have like what looks like what would be a standard cylinder release on there. So it's just all fake, just to make it look like a real revolver. And then you have Elite Force on the side here, your serial number, and then it says Cal 6mm, and then you have an F right there. So yeah, you can get these on, I looked on eBike, they don't have these. I looked on, what's the other one? Airsoft GI doesn't have these. Found the Gen 2s on Fox Airsoft, they have them. Airsoft Atlanta has the Gen 2s as well, that website. And obviously Amazon, that's where I got this one, probably the easiest if you have Amazon Prime. It got here in like 2 days, super fast shipping. But yeah, we're going to take this out to the chrono. We're going to see really what it's shooting with the .2s. And we're also going to, do a little range and accuracy and just see how good that hop-up really is. So stay tuned for that. Alright guys, so we got a little bit of change of scenery here, just a little bit. I basically just had to amend this part of the video. So the original one, I had said that it did not come with a hex key to put your CO2 in. Now, some of you guys pointed out to me really quickly that it in fact does. Now, it is in the grip, actually built in right there. That piece right there is just built in to fit straight on there, so you can put your CO2 in. You don't have to keep track of any extra tools. It was a really awesome addition that's just built into the grip like that. I had originally missed that, and I thought it didn't come with it at all. So I appreciate you guys that pointed that out to me. It's just a classic case of not reading the manual. If I would have read the manual, I would have saw on like the 3rd page, I believe that's on, that it does in fact have a hex key built into the grip. Alright, so I took the little magazine cylinder, circular thing out, little disc. I'm just going to put some BBs in it real quick. So what you want to do is just place it this way, put a BB in, and just press it in. It holds it pretty good. So I'm going to do that with all 10 here. There you go, just like that. So they are a bit tedious to load, but I mean, it comes with 5 of them. So you load them all up before you go play, and you got 50 rounds in your sidearm, so that's pretty good. All right, guys, we got a fresh CO2 cartridge in here with some 0.2 gram BBs. This has never been fired before. Brand new cartridge and 2.2s. So let's see what our FPS is. Alright guys, that first test was really inconsistent on the FPS. So I loaded another 10 rounds, and this is still the same CO2 cartridge, keep in mind. So there's already 10 shots been through that CO2 cartridge. So we're just going to see if we can get some more consistency out of this thing. We're going to do a little range test, see how accurate this thing is. I was running 0.2s in here. I did have the hop up turned all the way off. It was still shooting a little bit high. So you might want to throw some heavier BBs in there. You might get a little bit better results. I have 9 magazine discs. That's 90 rounds. So we're going to do a little test, and we're going to try to see how many rounds this thing can run on a single CO2 cartridge. So when I started, I had a brand new CO2 cartridge in here. Didn't fire a single shot yet. So I shot 2 discs into there. So that's 20 rounds. So we're going to keep going from there, and we're going to see how many we can fire on this single CO2 cartridge. 9 magazine discs so far, 90 rounds. We still have a bunch in here, so let's keep going. Really neat. Barely hitting the target now.
So 20 of them.
So before the CO2 ran so low to where the BB wasn't even hitting the target, it was about 20 discs or 200 rounds. So that was a single CO2 cartridge at 200 rounds. So that's amazing for gas efficiency on this thing. Not many pistols can shoot 200 rounds on one charge. I mean, 200 rounds is a lot, even for like an AEG or something. 200 rounds is a good bit. Yeah, it's a pretty good gun. All right, guys, we appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you next time.